Hey, Raghav, hi, welcome to our first series of Prax Convos. It's always sort of fantastic talking to you and always great to see the kind of growth story that you and your venture have been creating. Probably, put a little bit the QSR format who have a smaller retail space, slightly at a more advantage. What about the whole vending machine business? Do you think that's going to pick up faster now?
Possibly, it will. It will.
But, and what's happening with rent? That's the big elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Are sort of landlords renegotiating rents? Are you invoking force majeure? When things come back to normal, are yields going to fall? Because obviously the footfall levels will still not remain the same, especially in very high density and expensive sort of pockets, right? Which were dependent on that high footfall and hence had very high rent. What do you think will happen there?
So we've been getting a pretty positive response from quite a few of our landlords. People understand that there is zero business right now, or there is 10% business right now, there's 20% business right now, and they know that as of now, the way the market is going to shape up over the next 6 months, even if they play hardball and they ask you to leave the property, it'll be very difficult to get somebody else to come in that place. So the way we are talking about it is that there will possibly be no rent during lockdown. Post lockdown, there will be a kind of easing into the regular rentals, which will kind of come with either a revenue slab or a revenue share kind of construct. A lot of landlords are actually understanding and they agree with the kind of thought process that if it is not sustainable for you, you are not going to continue to be there. So markets definitely, overall rentals, there will be companies who don't have the benefits of cash. There will be a lot of local businesses which will not be able to sustain, which might end up having to shut down. So obviously demand for real estate in markets, in malls, that is going to go down for sure. Whether it will be a 3 to 6 month phenomena or whether it will be a longer term phenomena, that is anybody's guess. But there will definitely be that softening of the market because there will be some people leaving. Especially expensive, high rental kind of markets, they're definitely going to be affected.
Tell me one more thing let's talk a little bit about the government and the regulations. How do you think they've helped you so far, sail through the situation and even looking ahead, what interventions and what policy and regulatory frameworks do you think, especially for the, small format retail, QSR businesses, is necessary to bring into place, right? So that you guys remain profitable and you can grow and continue the track you've been on.
The timing of the lockdown was bang on. If it had not been done at the point it was done, and it was done maybe 8 days, 10 days later than that, it might have been disastrous. The way I see the situation right now, it is looking to be positive because there is an attempt from the government side to be able to open things up more. So we are taking these latest moves also positively. And I'm hoping that within the next 15 days or 20 days to come, we'll have a more suitable situation for the economy, more opened up kind of zones. But yeah, I think it has been clearly communicated, except for the first few days, which was bound to happen. It's been communicated well from a business point of view. Of course, you had all those all the cases of the migrant laborers and all of that, which definitely was something which could have maybe been better thought through, better executed. But yeah, overall, I think the situation right now is looking to be headed in the right direction. I think within the next 15 to 20 days to come, or maybe 30 days to come, we should be getting back to people getting out of their homes, businesses getting back on track.
So if we talk a little bit about the non-essential retail categories, like let's say you have apparel, you have toys, you have electronics, etc. Right, and we are seeing that at least in markets like UAE, etc., where retail is opened up again, but the consumption sort of wallets are not there, so the spending power is not there. B, there is a huge fear that exists within the customer. So even when people are walking in, they're not touching, they're not sort of, going into shops where there's more people. And also the retailers are putting in a lot of restrictions, like, so you can't try apparel, right? You can't do certain things, you can't touch phones, etc. All of it. So again, businesses have reopened, right? But they're still operating at a 10-20% of demand, right? Whereas the cost structure is again trying to come back again because you still have to pay salaries, you still have to pay rent. How long do you think this this whole situation should last? Like even if we open up again, what do you think would be the incoming demand? Let's say probably non-essential retail categories.
I think it's a matter of time. It'll be a 3 to 6 month period of time. That's my best guess here.
Tell me one more thing. How should companies who are, let's say, smaller scale than yours, right? I mean, you guys obviously had probably 150, 200 stores, multiple cities. Let's say someone with a 50 store, 70 store, or a 30 or even lesser kind of network. How should those businesses think about re-acceleration, and how should they plan to, kickstart operations again?
Everybody who I speak to right now, it's this year is only about survival. This year is only about how do you make your P&Ls and your businesses more sustainable for the future, so that this has been a shock for the entire business community. If you get out of this alive and you have survived, you should get out of it with a much healthier P&L, with a much better balance sheet. So I think that's the intent from everybody, and I think it's the wise thing to go for that. Say if such a situation were to come up again, would you'd be able to approach it much better if you were a profitable business. So how do you adapt your cost structure so that you are ready for downturns, you are ready for black swan events like this. That's how people are thinking of it, and people have had to take drastic steps, but that's the need of the hour, and you need to act fast.
What about expansion? So companies who at least have some cash, should they look at opening new stores at least at strategic locations, because they might get good deals like lower entry, lower yields, etc.
We would definitely want to take. We might not go in for extremely high risk properties. At this point in time, we would want to prefer to go for low risk properties. But if we are able to get a good deal in a mall or in a high street location where we were looking to enter into, we would definitely go ahead with that.
When we speak to a lot of, so again, you would not have been operating at 100% capacity given the whole dining business that you have. So that would have given you a lot of spare bandwidth, at least at the central and corporate level, right? So how have you been able to use this time, right? Whether it's internal projects, something external, looking into growth, like what all have you guys been able to do in this sort of spare bandwidth time?
Our teams have been extremely busy doing a lot of peacetime work had to be done. Things like defining processes, defining SOPs, enhancing those. A lot of work has happened on those fronts. A lot of work has happened into things like how do you build for e-commerce, how do you build that entire packaged goods line, how do you build those contactless experiences. So it is both that near term work plus that future foundation building kind of work. Both of them have been happening side by side. So say a training team would be working on SOPs, but a technology team would be working on maybe contactless experiences. A product team would be working on enhanced categories that will actually help us in the post-COVID world.
Perfect, Raghav. Anything else you want to add, to sort of the topic?
You already covered a lot of it. We managed to speak about a few things. I think it is just that agility and adaptability right now in such a situation. I just hope majority of the small businesses, the local retailers, they're able to make it through this. And we're able to get some kind of structured government support for that, because that would be a big loss to the community if we end up losing a lot of such enterprises which were not able to sustain those kind of cash flows.
Raghav, thank you so much for your time. Like always, fantastic talking to you.
Thank you. Great conversation.
Yeah, and wish you all the health and all the best to you, your family, your colleagues, friends, everyone.
Same to you, Aryaman. Thanks a lot.